Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about the Iowa Hawkeyes and how great they are. Maybe not, but Zach, tell us a little about yourself and where you're living and what you do and how you got to be where you're at.
Well, I got into the bug business. There was an older gentleman that he was getting out of it, and he said, "Hey, are you interested in taking it over for me?" And I said, "Yeah." And he trained me. I took some little bit of schooling for it and got the certifications and just learned the ins and outs of it. And then here I am out on my own, trying to help folks get rid of bugs.
Now, how long have you been doing it?
This is year number 9.
Number 9, and I've seen your coverage area, at least on your Facebook page. That's like 9 counties, something like that, 5 counties.
We go all over kind of the local area here, but most of it is in Laclede, Pulaski, and Phelps.
Gotcha. Now, is it primarily private residence, or do you do commercial businesses as well?
I'd say it's probably somewhere around 70% private and then 30% commercial.
Okay. Because I know they can get. You got to have the bugs out of the kitchen before you can eat those hamburgers.
Yes, that's kind of gross. You don't want bugs on your sandwich.
Now, you get to some places. Now, what's for the winter months? Now, one thing I wanted to remind everybody for RV protection too. Talk about what you can do for people with their RVs. Because I see we got a brand new parking lot down there where the old GMC dealer was, and that's a long-term storage with RVs. That doesn't make them safe from critters, does it?
Oh no, there's gaps in any structure, any home. It's just I kind of treat it like a home. You just treat all the entrances and exits and just pay attention to what you're doing and use the right chemical, and that goes a long ways.
Well, sure, because we did our own, and we haven't seen a critter one. Now, what about those little, you see those gadgets they have, you plug it in, puts out a high squeak pitch squeal. I don't think they do anything, do they?
Well, I'm still in business, so I don't know.
Well, that's what I kind of figured too. Just because it's on TV and they say it works doesn't mean it's so.
Well, true.
So what's the culprit going on right now at the winter months coming on we need to be aware of?
We've had such a warm fall. I mean, it's been nice, really. Not enough moisture to help. So you're kind of still dealing with your fall bugs even into December like this, which it's unusual. So you're still dealing with your occasional spiders, crickets, and even some house flies right now.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow, because I sent you a picture of our warrior spider here in after the fall. It's probably a wolf spider. I don't know what it was, and they're not deadly. Or actually, you want to keep those around, don't you?
They're just part of nature.
Yeah. They don't bother you, and you don't bother them.
Right. Well, women freak out over them.
Sure.
Even some guys, but especially the ladies.
Well, sure. The what was I going to ask you? If there's one thing you'd like some people to know about what you do for them and what you do for the communities and stuff like that, what would you tell them that's kind of surprised you? Like a common question that people always have.
Well,
other than your price.
Sure. I get a lot of what do I need to do on my end.
Sure.
They'll ask me, do I need to move this? And you really don't have to do a lot for what I do. I'll say if you're having some spiders, notice them in a closet area, I'll have them clear out that closet. And then I'll tell them other things if they're having like a roach issue. Maybe if they got pet food, keep it in a sealed container till it's under control. Just little things like that.
Sure, I remember sugars too were bad. You want to keep the ants away. Put your sugars up. And you say you're always from Missouri. You grew up here.
Yeah, I have lived in Colorado for a little bit when I was younger, and I did go to school in Iowa actually for a little bit when I was right out of high school.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Favorite sport team is?
For pros, it'd be the Denver Broncos.
Right. Well, I'm surprised they ain't run you out of Richland,
Oh, I know, right? But it's weird. You see a lot of Denver Bronco fans in this neck of the woods. I don't know why, but you do.
Well, everybody can see what I'm wearing. But the thing is, if they have an actual map of all the Iowa Hawkeye fans and where it spreads to like a virus, and it goes from Iowa deep into Missouri, and Illinois has got a ton of Iowa Hawkeye fans and stuff like that. So you never know, you're going to run into some Hawkeye fans sooner or later, and I'm sure Broncos fans are kind of saying you can seep into the cracks, and get tired of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that's
Sure.
I'm tired of Malone. I'm just tired of seeing all the commercials between him and Coach Prime.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. But between him and Nick Saban, ugh, just drive me
They
bonkers.
drowned everybody else
Yeah,
out.
maybe that's the intent. I don't know. It's the intent. You looking forward to any bowl seasons going up or coming up?
I am interested to see how Missouri does against Ohio State. That's, Ohio State's Ohio State.
But they did lose to Michigan, and now I watched the game, and they had a couple of bad calls it looked like, but Ohio State just has a heck of a time with Michigan.
They do.
And I was surprised being Hawkeye. We held them to the low score that they had. I can't remember what it was, maybe 20-0, but I was expecting it to be a blowout. Does anybody watching knows the score of the Iowa-Michigan game? No. If you do, type it up. And yeah, the Big Ten has really come a long way as far as in the ratings and stuff. SEC Missouri's come a long way.
Yeah.
The story I like to tell is that one year Iowa was doing so bad, I was going to switch colors to Mizzou. And it just so happens that year Iowa and Mizzou was playing a bowl game. And I said, well, whoever wins.
Yeah.
I don't have to change the colors, maybe some paraphernalia, but Iowa actually won it. So I said, okay, that's the last time I'll change colors. So.
Well, they made you question your fandom there for a bit.
Well, when you're paying $10 million for mediocrity, it just gets kind of old. And how big it's gotten now. Everybody will say, well, the coaches bring in millions upon millions and millions of dollars to the schools because of the school program or the football program, sports, and all that stuff. But come on,
Yeah.
they probably work just as hard for $2 million.
Yeah, no doubt.
If there's like a ceiling on what you could pay a college football coach, make it, because it's just ridiculous. And then the advertising and everything else. So that's awesome. Well, anything you want to say before we wrap it up? And I appreciate you coming by.
I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're
for letting
welcome.
me do this. And we're a smaller company.
Sure.
And I like it that way. I feel like I can get to know people like I am you right now.
Sure.
And you build a relationship with people, and that's a good thing.
Well, I think so too, and I think that's the backbone of any business. I would rather deal with and give somebody the business that I know the person or feel like I know them. I can call them up, hey, he knows my name or she knows my name, rather than have to Google through pages of marketplace and ads and just hope that whoever I get on the phone is going to do a good job, because we've all been there. We hand over the money, we turn our back for a second, and look at the crap that they've done. Just terrible work. I mean, I about destroyed my house hiring this knucklehead trying to fix a door because he was cheap, and sometimes cheap ain't what you're going to get what you pay for in a lot of ideas.
Sure.
So well, that's awesome. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Next week, I hope to have the what's her name? Clerk of the court, Rochelle. You know her name?
Is it Beasley?
Yeah, Rochelle Beasley. Rochelle Beasley has promised me some time. David Ernst, county clerk. I still got to get a hold of the sheriff and the public administrator, but I think she just resigned, and that's maybe an interesting story somebody wants to chime in too. But until then, everybody, we thank you so much. And with that, Alexa.